After playing Avatar, I'm beginning to think looting and polluting is the way. Welcome to Deep Thoughts While Gaming. I'm Chris Chappell, and today we're returning to the magical world people just seem to love of Pandora in Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, based off the hit early 2000s movie Avatar: The Last Airbender, or something. In it, you play as a race of beautiful, blue, cat-like creatures called the Avatars, I think. I don't know. I don't really care. But prepare to learn a lesson about nature and why civilization is so evil. Humans are the bad guys. We came from space to oppress the natives, all because of our greed for a resource called unobtainium? You're kidding, right? Oh God, that's terrible. That sounds like a placeholder name they forgot to change. And they spent how many hundreds of millions of dollars on this? I always hated the Na'vi. No, not that one. Well, yes, that one. But these ones. There's been a persistent thread of thought in the West that civilization is inherently, fundamentally bad and oppressive. Swiss philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau fantasized that before civilization, man exists in a state of amour de soi, or self-love, or love of self. Just like the Na'vi, we were pure and innocent. Anything man did was always good because man never pursued self-interest at the expense of others. But then civilization happened, and instead of self-love, people wanted validation from others. And the way you do that is with private property, which is unnatural and the original source of all inequality. These humans are oppressing the Na'vi because they want unobtainium. Now this may surprise you, but I never heard of Rousseau giving up and equally sharing his private property. Another guy who did that was Karl Marx. He called for the forcible overthrow of all pre-existing social condition. Again, civilization bad. And he really wanted your private property. But let's look at the Na'vi. Now, they're portrayed as the morally superior species. Now, I actually had to dive into the Avatar wiki for this, which I found infuriating, but canonically, the Na'vi have something called the 3 laws of Iwa. You shall not set stone upon stone, neither shall you use the turning wheel, nor use the metals of the ground. They literally don't even have the wheel. Do you ever see the Na'vi use a system of writing? For that matter, where are all the old and handicapped Na'vi? Mysteriously absent. I wonder what happened to them in a culture where whoever is the strongest and the fastest and can ride the biggest dragon is the leader. Thank you. I'll take the American Republic over that any day. Especially because that hair thing they use to plug into the animals is the same one they plug into each other when they have sex. Yes, that's canon. And speaking of, it's never mentioned why humans want unobtainium. What if it's used for medical treatments? Something the Na'vi certainly don't use, and wouldn't agree to any form of trade with humans because of their religious fanaticism that says you can't use the metals of the ground. The humans are objectively the good guys. We built frickin' spaceships to travel the stars, and they don't even have the wheel. The Na'vi cannot adapt. They're still throwing spears at giant metal trucks. You'd think after the first couple of times that didn't work, they'd change their tactics. Even in the game, the best protection is offered by wearing human clothes, because running around half naked is stupid and illegal. It doesn't make you more spiritual or in touch with nature. Don't let their blue skin fool you. The Na'vi are actually dirty reds. The core of Marxism is that the oppressed must violently overthrow the oppressors. Why are you really enjoying killing all these humans? What have they done? They probably have families, and now daddy isn't coming home because of you. But the deadly realization that happened in all communist societies is that who is the oppressor can turn on a dime. In a famous interview, former KGB Yuri Bezmenov warned of what he called the useful idiots, people who idealistically believe in communist ideology, who are always the first to be lined up against the wall and shot by the powers they helped install. Because remember, right now, you may be killing all those humans to free the Na'vi, but behind the controller, you're still a human, and ultimately, an oppressor who needs to be dealt with. That'll be quite the shock to all the humans who are working with the Na'vi in Frontiers of Pandora. Oh, of course she has purple hair. That's the danger of being an ally in the real world. Derek Bell, the founding father of critical race theory, talked about interest convergence. The idea is that the majority will never advance the cause of a minority group unless it benefits them as well. In other words, white people will never help black people unless it helps white people, and thus, black people will always be left behind. That's why anti-racist activist Ibram X. Kendi said, "The only remedy to past discrimination is present discrimination. Two wrongs make a right." So when BLM, whose founders described themselves as radically trained Marxists, posted this image honoring the Hamas terrorists who massacred over 1,000 people in the name of liberation, what do you think they want to happen in this country? But Avatar even fails at telling this story of oppressor versus the oppressed. The humans oppress the Na'vi, greedy for resources. The Na'vi are so much better, so much more spiritual. Well, guess what? It takes a white human male to ride the biggest dragon and best girl to save them because they can't save themselves. Remember, our civilization is not evil. We take care of our elderly, our infirm. We create wonders of art and science. And you know what's a heck of a lot better than some weird soul-devouring tree? Jesus Christ! And I'm supposed to enjoy Frontiers of Pandora, this Far Cry clone? Oh yeah, I'm so invested in the story of how they abduct me and my brothers and sisters, ripped me from my homeworld at a young age, and tried to force their ways on me until they killed my sister. You bastard! Why do you think you're so superior? Wait, this game is actually beautiful. Oh man, it's actually kind of fun. The freedom of movement, the fluidity of gameplay. My lungs fill with my native air. My mouth is full of the songs of my people. I am one with the wind. Ancestors, I have returned, and I must purge my homeland of these outsiders that defile our sacred land with their filthy footsteps. Die, human scum! Die! Thank you for watching Deep Thoughts While Gaming. And remember, if you're gonna be an idiot, make yourself useful. Hate communism? Then support capitalism by giving me money to keep making the show. I have a new Patreon over at patreon.com/gamersunbeaten, or you can hit that join button to become a channel member. You'll get access to an exclusive Discord server, live streams, videos, emojis, and antibiotics. You'll need them after sticking your hair thing in anything that moves. And here's a video YouTube thinks you'll like. You see, we humans have our own soul-devouring tree. It's called the algorithm. Do not disobey it.